Konnichiwa minasan. It is Monday, May 4th, 2015 at approximately 4:22 a.m. God, I have to do this so early in the morning. And this is my moment of truth. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about my life, but I also want to address a very, very serious topic. A little bit of my life first. The weather's getting very nice. Tomorrow is supposed to be, actually today's the tomorrow, so excuse me. Monday is supposed to be an 80-degree day, so today is supposed to be an 80-degree day, or somewhere there close too. So I'm looking forward to that. I just got my fan out of storage just in case it gets too hot because I want to be comfortable. So there you go, because I sleep during most of the day, so that's good. I picked up something new. I got a portable audio recorder that I picked up last weekend. I looked at it a little bit. I don't know how to use it just yet. I'll have to look at the directions, but I want to make videos and have the sound more professional, because when I edit, the sound is kind of a thing to adjust, and if I have something like this, which is cool, but this is supposedly, pardon me for saying it, beg my pardon. It's a joke. Beg my pardon, but this is supposedly the cat's ass of recording, but it's a portable audio recorder, so I think it's going to have a lot of versatility, and I'm glad the day is catching up with me, because I'm going to be going to bed soon after the video. It's supposed to be the type of thing that's going to offer me versatility as far as sound goes to do what I need to do. And under, yes, this fluffy head, this windscreen fluffy head thing, is the microphone bit that you people might recognize, so I think that's very cool. And yeah, it also has another microphone that comes with it, so I will be learning how to use this doohickey, which is awesome. Alright, on to the serious topic today that I kind of want to address, because I'm starting to go through something with this. Okay, from time to time when I go to my YouTube account, you know, I'm pretty much addicted to YouTube, and I watch this stuff all the time. Oh, that's probably a bad word to use, knowing what I'm going to address. No, I'm addicted to YouTube, but I don't like to watch television. I have no interest in watching television. So when I go to my YouTube account, wherever I am, you know, looking at my smartphone, occasionally on my account, actually always, they'll have videos that they recommend. So they'll have videos that, you know, what's to watch, and some of them are listed as recommended, blah 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 blah. So I'll click on those videos that they recommend, and they yield some very interesting topics which just kind of blow my mind and open my eyes up to the world. So it's very cool. You get to see different kinds of people, and that's the types of things that I've been seeing that have been recommended for me. You might have people into BSDM, some kind of weird sexual fetish kind of thing, and you know, I saw a video of a girl that likes to interpret herself as a cat, and she actually had this thing which was pretty cool that I liked, where you could get fangs. So she actually has that going on, and it looked very realistic. I worked in the dental field like this, and I'm saying, wow, that's amazing. But she, you know, does the ears, and she does the tail, and she has the whole thing going on. And I said, wow, that's a very unique type of person. So I was very kind of taken by that, you know. Of course, it's along with the people who have the tattoos, and the goth people, and I don't know, there's any number of things and styles that people have out there these days, which is interesting. But you know, you come across this kind of thing, and it just kind of floors you, because you know, maybe you don't see that every day, and you surely don't. But then you come across the more serious things. You have people out there who have weight problems. People have weight problems, they're extremely obese. There's issues there that concern their health, where they might only have anywhere between 2 to 10 years to live. And they got fat, they gained a lot of weight for certain reasons, you know, for comfort and things of the sort that, you know, they just kept eating food and they became addicted to eating food. So that's an addiction. This is leading to my topic as regards to health. You have people who also have shopping addiction. You know, they go shopping and they go shopping for that, I guess, euphoric feeling of getting something, you're purchasing something, and it offers that excitement, sort of an adrenaline rush or something of the sort that satisfies them. It almost becomes that feeling that you're addicted to. It's like a drug. It's almost like a drug addict. And you have people that are base jumpers, that are real extreme adventurous kinds of people, and they get addicted to that adrenaline rush in that way, and they could possibly die doing base jumping or these extreme sports that in some countries are illegal, but there are a few countries out there where they are legal, and well, you know, you might find some people out there like that, but they become addicted to that kind of thing. There's other people that are probably a little more closely related to what I am. They call them objection sexuals. Objecta sexuals. There you go. Something like that. If I got it wrong, I got it wrong, but I would say object sexuals, maybe that's correct. But they become attached and they actually love objects. So instead of falling in love with somebody who's a person, they'll actually fall in love with an object. There's two examples that I come up with the top of my head that I actually did see on videos. Somebody actually fell in love with the cars that they own. They have like 4 or 5 cars and they love those cars. They love those vehicles. And in that particular person, they actually declared one of their cars a soulmate. Even though they love the other cars, they declared one of their cars a soulmate. And they have an act of loving and kissing and, you know, their own version, I guess, of making love to the car, which could be very kind of personal. I'm not going to get into details, but if you use your imagination, you probably can put the picture together. Another person who is one of these people also loved the, what is it called? The Berlin Wall. There you go, the Berlin Wall. So they loved the wall, and they have a model, several models of the wall, and they actually go to bed with these models of the Berlin Wall. So that kind of stuff is very interesting, but it leads me to think about things. It leads me to think about things in a certain way where I'm a transgendered person, and we get to see all these different kinds of people. You get to say, well, wait a second, you know, that's kind of weird. I don't necessarily understand all these other people and their things going on, and I really don't, but you know, I have to sit back and I have to respect that. On these programs that I'm watching on YouTube, when they go through these different types of people, they'll have, like, you know, psychotherapists and, you know, people in the mental health field and well-being field that are actually experts in this kind of stuff. They have degrees and they know their things, and they sit back and they talk about this kind of stuff, and they always kind of give a nod of approval for this kind of stuff, and they say, oh, well, you know, this person is this thing, and, you know, that's an actual case in this actual kind of condition. You get to hear them talk about this stuff, and it just adds more positive credence to this kind of weird stuff that people are a part of. But then I have to look at it and say, well, wait a second, I'm part of something that's not necessarily, I guess, part of the norm, I'm supposed to say, but you know, it's to some sense relating to some of these other people. So, I mean, I kind of look at it and say, oh, that makes me self-conscious. You know, I said, am I weird, you know, and all that kind of thing. And then I got to think about this stuff, and I said, well, you know, I think this kind of leads me to think, to fully realize the reason as to why transgendered people will go and make a physical transition. So I kind of add this to my example of life and say, well, okay, you know, what do I do that's kind of odd, I suppose. I don't know. I work at night. It's a very bad, tough schedule. But I'm not a very social person, which it would be nice to be more social. The schedule that I hold is not very, very easy. But I also have my trans stuff. And when I went to my storage unit to go and pick up my fan, I had to pick up a few car wash supplies because I washed my car. I got to thinking of, I got a ton of clothes in this unit that I've just got to sort through. And most of the stuff is clothes, and then, you know, I have a storage unit full of other things. But I'm thinking, well, how am I going to go through all these clothes? You know, a lot of these clothes are like guys' clothes that I've never worn very much, and most of them are fairly new. So I kind of think about it lately, and I said, you know, I really am what I am, because when I want to go through all this stuff and sort it, I just want to go and throw the guys' clothes out. I really do. And I just want to have women's clothes. And it's just a constant reminder. I said, whoa, I'm one of these people. I'm one of these, not just transgendered people, I'm one of these exceptions in the world. And when you hear some of these health professionals talk about things, you know, you got doctors and you got psychotherapists and people of the sort, when they hear transgendered, they get this serious look on their face, much like other people's conditions. And you get to think about it, oh, well, why are you so serious about this? Because it's something that can affect your life. It can affect your life very much. And when doctors and healthcare professionals think of taking care of people and their own well-being and their health, they think of a number of things. You know, are they going to be able to have children? Are they going to be mentally well? Are they going to have a healthy life? I mean, what's the condition of their mind? What's the condition of their body? There's any number of things. And it really kind of floors me to think about that. I mean, I'm not in a relationship, which I count that as one taboo of not being healthy. I haven't really been involved in a relationship or very social for quite some time. I'm not intimate with somebody. I don't have kids. I'm not married. They get to think in terms of reproducing, as that's very, very important. It's just really kind of weird. It hits me like a ton of bricks. I said, oh my God, there's something probably very, very serious that I need to take into consideration here. I do need to speak to somebody to kind of figure things out. I mean, if you look in the world and you see somebody who's got this exceptionally different thing about them that people wouldn't necessarily understand, I mean, how am I to expect that the rest of the world is not looking at me in the same fashion? Even though I can walk into the world and I'm okay with being me. If I didn't know me, you know, let's say as somebody who is very straight, or somebody who is very much what you probably would define as normal, how would they perceive me without knowing me? You know, they might perceive me in a very odd way, and it might be kind of hard for them to accept me. So I think a lot of people who are part of the trans community, they don't really want to transition, maybe not, but there's a whole push on the end of things to lead a healthier life and to try to fit in by doing a transition, so that people may perceive you, if you're a male female, they may perceive you as a woman, or if you're a female male, the world and society would tend to perceive you as a man. It's a whole thing about assimilating and trying to fit in. Like you'll have a higher quality of life. This is regardless of your sexual orientation and that kind of stuff, which a lot of people confuse and get that, you know, they don't really understand. They think if you're trans you might be gay, and that's not necessarily the case. It really is an attempt to try to fit in, to have a healthy life. I mean, do I have insecurities? Yes, I do have insecurities. I have plenty of insecurities. I have insecurities about actually walking into a store and going to buy women's clothes. I mean, I picked up a pair of jeans today, which I'm wearing, And I went into that store very, very late at night. I know that they close at 12 in the morning. And I actually, tried to be calm and tried to be comfortable doing that. But I mean, looking as a guy and not necessarily being recognized physically as a woman really kind of floors me. It's not that I don't want to go into a woman's store and buy women's stuff. It's just that I won't, because I'm kind of afraid of what people might think of me or how they might perceive me. Now, trans people are in the media. There's the example out there. You see trans people in the news all the time, which is a very good thing. So people are kind of warmed up, but still, in the same way, it doesn't make things any easier. So it really, it kind of floors me. And when you get to see most of your life, or a good part of your life, go by where you haven't had the things that other people do, and you just don't have a lot of stuff that's probably deemed as normal. You're not really comfortable. It kind of scares you a little bit. I'm going to be going into my physical this year to go visit my doctor, and he's had some questions to ask me about, some stuff, because I had to tell him some personal stuff about some sex things and blah, 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 blah. So I had to know a little bit about my history. But he did ask me, a little bit if he thought that I might be gay or whatever the sort. So I'm actually going to throw this out there and tell him that I'm transgendered. So that could start the ball rolling with some stuff. I have to look into my health insurance and find out what it would be, what entails by me talking to a therapist and what they would take care of. But it's something that's going to be on my to-do list and that I seriously don't want to ignore. I feel that my life has been very, very stagnant. I'm not one of those people that gets very depressed, but then again, I think I have my own internal mechanism to kind of counteract that. But I really get concerned that maybe someday I might just be completely floored and the depression is going to hit, and I'm just going to see a very, very difficult time. I don't want to say that, maybe I might leave this world, but when depression hits and it hits you hard, sometimes it brings people to that point. So I have to be very careful with that kind of stuff. When I was I was texting my baby boy this past week, so I got a little bit of information from him, and he's always very, very supportive. But then again, he's somebody from the trans community, so it's comforting to know him. But I won't always get that kind of support from other people, and I can't always expect other people to understand. I'm not here to go and say that, okay, I want to be part of some free-for-all of people that, whatever you do, and I suppose that's kind of fine and dandy, but I'm not going to say that. I don't look at other people and say I'm kind of freaked out or that I completely understand, because most of the time I don't completely understand, but I know what I am. By virtue of the fact that people out there have physically transitioned and they actually fit in, they look the part, they look beautiful, they normally pass, they look beautiful, and that some straight guy out there who is not gay or is not anything, just a regular person, can look at a male to female physically transitioned person and find them to be attractive, that they would say, I want a relationship with this person, I want them to be my wife, or I want them to be my girlfriend, I want them to be my partner for the rest of my life. That is such a beautiful thing, because they fit in, and then that's the whole thing. That's the whole idea behind it. People are accepting of trans people because of that fact, that there are those who are very attractive and they fit in, and a guy would look at them and say, I want to be with them. So that's kind of a point of what I'm thinking these days. Moment of truth is something that I have to speak honestly, and well, from my point of view as a trans person, then this is what it is. No matter how painful it may be for me to actually go and say that out here, It's honest, it's true, and it's what I'm thinking. I kind of look at this and say that I probably have a lot of work ahead of me. I try to accept myself as a guy, but I don't want to be wearing men's clothes anymore. I want to wear women's clothes. And I'm going to have to find my way to present so I can actually get to a store and shop for the things that I want. I just don't want any more part of this guy thing. And every time I see my reflection in the mirror, or I see my reflection in the glass, or something of the sort, at some place where I'm at, I kind of look and I say, well, am I that bad of a looking guy? I'm not that bad looking. No, not really, but it's not really me. It kind of floors me that I'm what I am. Those are some thoughts in my mind. That's what's going on these days. This is my moment of truth. Just thought I'd give people a heads up for that. And I'm going to have to come up with another line to end up my videos because the other one's getting a little bit old. Anyway, that's my moment of truth. Bye for now. Take care, guys, and I will see you some other time. Bye for now.